And with breaking news, this just in, the FBI says that South LA crime boss Eugene Big U Henley is now in custody. Authorities say he ran a mafia-like organization while masquerading as a music mogul and gang peacemaker. Fox 11's Christina Gonzalez spoke to a rapper who worked with him. She joins us live with a story you'll see only on Fox 11, and this story breaking as we speak, Christina.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I am hearing that Big U and the other person they were looking for, Brian Mejia, both turned themselves in. This is developing as we speak, and as we speak, people are coming up and saying, on the one hand, that he did a lot for the community, and then there are those like this woman who say things are not what they seem. Listen to her.
No, I'm not surprised because I've been fighting this fight for a long time.
Rapper Alicia Choi speaks about federal authorities accusing LA rap music executive and community activist Eugene Big U Henley of leveraging his connections with the Rolling 60s Crips to run a criminal enterprise, even funneling funds from his community nonprofits into his criminal operations.
You cannot do evil when the cameras are off and smile and help kids when the cameras are on.
Choice, who you may have seen in rap videos like this one, says she was a budding artist when she first met him.
I was just a young kid wanting to rap and wanting to live out my dream and working hard. And, you know, he really took advantage of me. I wanted to help bring donations into his nonprofit development options. And with that being said, he just wanted to take over. He wanted to bully me. He wanted to control me. And when I wouldn't allow that, that's when he started jumping on me and beating me, extorting me, threatening people not to work with me. And I was scared for a long time to speak up. I was actually terrified.
And I want to emphasize, these are very serious accusations she is making. And, you know, she says it is her fear, which makes it very difficult to follow up on these things. But she says her fear kept her from going to police. She did not file police reports, but that she did try getting a restraining order at one point. Now, what the feds, and we'll go to his photo again because it's hard to see him as a person that the feds are saying what he did when we are used to seeing him in such a different light. What they're charging him with has nothing to do with what she is accusing him from. The charges do not include anything of what she's saying, but they do say that part of the investigation involves the murder of another young rapper back in Las Vegas. Back in 2021, I talked to police in Vegas, and they told me over the phone that the murder was over, are you ready for this? A diss that he had written something in a song supposedly talking bad about Big U, and that is why he ended up getting murdered. That's what the police were telling me. So it's just still developing. There's going to be a lot more to this whole thing, but we can tell you he has turned himself in, and I'm sure a lot of people are waiting to hear what he has to say about this, including us. I'm Christina Gonzalez, live, Hayden Park. Back to you guys.
I am familiar with this guy through listening to and watching people like Whack 100 and Adam 22. They love to go on Adam 22. They love to go on No Jumpers podcast. And all of these guys with these gang affiliations, and they talk about how they get down and how they be fighting and what they do and who they got beef with and the ops and the pull up and all of that stuff. And as a mature guy that obviously most of us, right? It's not foreign to me. It's not crazy to me. And most of us are familiar with it. A lot of us that grew up in environments, whether you in Detroit, whether you in Los Angeles, whether you in Dade County, or you over in New York. It doesn't matter where you from. All of us got a hood. Most of us came from a hood. And so we understand hood politics. And just because you understand hood politics does not mean you have to stay operating in the same way. You know how they say you can take the man out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the man, or something like that. This is one of those situations. And this Big U guy, of course, I'm pretty sure that Whack 100, who I never speak on Whack 100 because I just don't think that the type of energy and the type of content that they put out is relevant for my audience and for the people that I rock with. But I am familiar with it, right? Of course I'm familiar with it. And One of the ways that I'm familiar with it is because I was a huge fan of Nipsey Hussle's music. Now, Nipsey Hussle is largely believed to be tied to, or his murder is largely believed to be tied to all of these gang affiliations or whatever, and so on and so forth. But I got a couple different takes outside of all of this, right? My first take is these guys, especially in the social media era, you're going to see more of this type of stuff happen. They did not learn from, down there in Fulton County, Georgia, with Young Thug getting the RICO case, even though he beat it, even though he, found himself out of it. He spent a lot of money and it was the longest case in Georgia history. They didn't learn from that. They don't learn from all of these different RICO cases that come across. They don't learn from our mistakes, and they can't wait to glorify the lifestyle on social media to make themselves targets, which I'm appreciative of because it actually helps the police catch these guys, which leads me to point number two. Point number two is the culture is still trash. It hasn't changed, and I do not glorify nor do I endorse gang culture, because these people are the ones that ruin our culture. They ruin our neighborhoods. They parade and around like, it kind of reminds me of the Nino Brown, New Jack City. They giving away turkeys, but they really poisoning the community, killing people and all of this stuff. And so you're never going to see me endorse any of this stuff because I don't support it. I don't love it. I don't rock with it. And, I'm not a fan of it. And so I think that that's point number two. And point number three, we have to start doing better. When are we going to change our mindset and our views towards life to where we actually endorse and we embrace fixing up our communities? I see people always protesting. I seen them down there, what was it, Lincoln Heights in Ohio, and they were protesting supposed Nazi people that were also putting up signs and stuff like that. I will tell you that the biggest threat to any community is usually people within their own community. The biggest threat, the crimes that are perpetuated against black people in black communities are usually other black people in those communities. And I see it all the time. I grew up around it. I seen people sell dope to their own mamas, to their own uncles, and then they act like that they doing all of this great stuff. And we're still glorifying, we're still celebrating these people. We still making sure that we act like they all awesome and they cool and all of that. And I don't mind people doing interviews or anything like that. But what I do want to do is make sure that we have the full conversation and not just get it one way. I don't want to live in an echo chamber. I want to understand people's experiences. And more importantly, it's cool to have conversations with people so you can learn what not to do or learn why you shouldn't go to jail and all of this stuff. And I seen a clip where he was on a live talking about, yeah, I'm on a run and they raided all of my houses, but I'm about to go and turn myself in and stuff like that. It's horrible. It's horrible. People lose their lives, communities, gangs, drugs. And you know what's so funny? There's going to be, it's not going to stop. Never have, never will. And the way that we have to stop it is we have to stop acting like it's an awesome thing. We have to stop involving ourselves in it. They going to be on Clubhouse, they be on Clubhouse and all of this stuff. If I'm them, if I'm any one of those people, and you can figure out who it is that I'm talking about, if I'm any one of those people, I don't even understand why Adam 22 and No Jumper is involved in this type of stuff. If I'm any one of those people, I'm shutting up. I'm not having no conversation about it. I don't know why people decide to do criminal activity and then they go online and they talk about it openly in front of everybody. But which again, I'm cool with it because all you're doing is getting the case built against yourself and you're snitching on yourself. And I don't think that these type of people should ever be released from prison. I think that you can come back from a lot of things, but I think that it's crazy if you are convicted, if you have proven to, and they don't even trip. Like, it's not even a innocent until proven guilty. They glorify it. They talk about the things that they do to people. They tell and influence other people and say, hey man, if you don't pull up on this person, if you ain't do this, whatever, I don't want to be involved with them. I don't want to kick it with them. I don't glorify it. The blessing in life is to be able to survive and ultimately get to a point in life where you can see your kid grow old. You don't want to die in a penitentiary, and you don't want nobody to bury you that's older than you. Y'all let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Also, Teach Henley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off of life. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. Peace.